Early tech choices for June. Oh no, July now. Ooh, new ban list. Top new tech choices as we're heading on into a new ban list here. This should help you prep for the YCSs that will be online here very soon, and we will see how well these hold up. So, guys, smash that subscribe button. Let's dig into this, shall we? Number one on our tech choices here, and these will be side and main for this format. Psycho Reader. Ah, man. So, you're like, Robbie, is it really worth it to pick up Psycho Reader this format? Absolutely. I still think that Drytron is one of the craziest rogue decks, or meta decks, however you want to view it. One of the best decks in the room because of the deck, the ceiling, the boards that the deck can make. Yes, the deck can play against itself. My favorite thing is to chain the Psycho Reader on the ritual spell activation and banish their targets. And then they're like, what do? That's what it's like to play Psycho Reader against a deck. The cool thing here is Psycho Reader versus DD Crow. A lot of people want to argue that you play DD Crow for the matchup and to take out the engage, but taking out the 2 from the graveyard is far worth more than anything that DD Crow can generate for the dual-rounded matchup. Alright, if you're really worried about Striker engaging you and you playing Crow against it, I feel like that's just wasted tech ability at this point. So trust me on this when I say that Psycho Reader, if your deck can support it as a side deck option, you will feel so much better. If you open up 2 Psycho Readers in that matchup, you will giggity like a schoolgirl. You'll be like, yee! Alright? So just remember, chain it on the activation of certain effects. Remember that it is chainable. Alright? People don't know how to read in this game. It is supposed to be 2 that can be operated during the opponent's turn. Alright? You can do that. So, yes, chainable. Alright? That's why it's good. Alright? Also, like I said, DD Crow's really bad. Crow, it's bad compared to Psycho Reader for the light matchups. So, trust me, play Psycho Reader. I highly recommend it. It's the reason why the card's super good. Next up is Droll and Lockbird, actually. Droll and Lockbird smashed back into this format on a much higher level than I really thought. So, what is Droll good against? Drytron. Yes, Drytron can still make a board, yes, but they're not going to resolve those Ben 10 searches. They'll have to, make the Beatrice. It all depends on what their field is. Alright, if they are making Beatrice, they will Ava you on the next turn. If they were also able to open up the Herald, you get a free turn against Sky Striker. Against, what else we got here? Virtual World, it's okay. Also depends on how they open. Eldritch doesn't give a crap. And Invoked, if you do it on the Meltdown, you'll be in a pretty good position as well. But that's really about it. Alright, and then of course you get a free win against Adagnister, basically forcing them to pass their turn. And Tri-Brigade kind of doesn't care. Depends when you hit it to them. Also same thing with Salad. Salad can care, but not really. So, like, that rounds out your super competitive matchups. So outside of that, Droll has just been like the go-to hand trap for a lot of formats. Being able to just shoot it on resolution of your opponent activating terraforming, you've delayed them effectively. Now you don't have to deal with the Meltdown being on the field. At this point, you also don't have to deal with, an Alistair being in hand. It's just great when you can hit it on more power choke points. So also with Droll being in the format, that means that it will punish bad players that choose to, not resolve searching for the ritual spell over the ritual monster first in certain combos, because now they can't ritual summon. So it's definitely a major choking point for a lot of these modern decks, and a lot of people don't really know how to still even to this day handle playing around Droll. So just, you got to make sure you can build a board, even if it's not a good one, because it's Droll and Lockbird. Just Cold by the Grave at 5-pin. Next up here is Shared Ride. Now, the only deck in the room that I'm seeing taking advantage of Shared Ride is just Sky Striker. And you're like, okay. So, Sky Striker, Shared Ride is hilarious. Actually, Shared Ride was an original tech choice that this deck actually had going for it. I think it was basically, we were using it for the mirror match. Oh my god. Being able to shared ride during the opponent's turn was absolutely hilarious. Man, if only we had other good things. So yeah, for the rest of this turn, each time a card or cards is added from the main deck or graveyard to your opponent's hand, except by drawing them, you can immediately draw one card. You can also hit Drytron with this. It's not quite as effective in the Drytron matchup. I mean, hey, Matanas adding back to the hand is still like a free add. There's really no other deck that really does a lot of crazy searching, to be honest, in the format. Mainly for Sky Striker, maybe Salamangreat. They do a lot of searching too. You can get some free advantage from that, but for the mirror match, it is definitely going to be the powerhouse. Hey, the cool thing is, if you're playing against Sky Striker and you want to side in shared ride, you can do that. It will generate you free advantage, but like I said, Striker, as of this moment, is the only one that's been playing shared ride, and it's mainly so it can capitalize on the mirror match. Because, you know, you got multi-rolls resolving everywhere, you got Droll 2s and searches going off everywhere. The mirror match is a literal crapshoot in itself. It's Widow Anchor this, Widow Anchor reset over here, like, that's what it is. And then you got the other ones like, chain the shared ride, and they're adding back, oh man. It's just draws and pluses everywhere with shared ride. So yes, shared ride is definitely going to be one of those cards that, well, maybe you might find success with it in something other than Striker. Next up here is Different Dimension Ground. I feel like this card never leaves. I feel like this card just walks into everybody's side deck, and you see it show up every blue moon, and you're like, oh, that's really good. So for the person that was actually asking me why you would play, you know, Different Dimension Ground over, say, something like Macrocosmos. First up, DD Ground is chainable. Macrocosmos is also chainable, but one of these stays on the field and the other one doesn't. Also, Different Dimension Ground is applied for one single turn only, and that's honestly what makes it crazy good. Getting that one whole free turn to take out anything that your opponent does that they need graveyard based. Oh my god, flipping this card against Drytron, you literally gain brain cells, alright? What do? Man, you resolve this card, their whole graveyard's gone. The entire ritual toolbox that they need sitting over here in the corner, they can't access because it's now banished. All Tyas, all the Drytrons, gone. Alright? They can... they also lose their ritual monsters if they attempt to ritual summon underneath it because they get banished. Well, what are you supposed to do? Nothing. Alright, it's a chainable one-turn Macrocosmo that is meant to put you in a leading position. Alright? And you know what? You can start your turn, slam that bad boy on the table, chain it to whatever your opponent's doing. You really want to be a jerk. You hold it for the chainable option. You let your opponent attempt to do something, and then you shotgun, chain Different Dimension Ground, and your opponent's like, well, where'd my resource pool go, George? Alright, and you're like, well, easiest win of my life. So, different Dimension Ground, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, the card hasn't really left, and it's just sitting there in the background as a tuck choice that I don't think a lot of people really pay attention to as an option. The last one we actually have here is Phantazmay. Now, Phantazmay was starting to see a lot of play last format, and that shouldn't really surprise anybody, right? Like, Phantazmay, Dragon Link, Striker Dragon, Link 1s? Coincidence? Oh, Sky Striker, Link 1s. So anytime that you can deploy a free body onto the field, go ahead and draw 2 cards, sculpt your hand, turn what crap you don't want to the bottom of your deck, seems like free advantage every single game that it can come up. Right? That seems pretty fair. Yeah, that's pretty much what I've gotten out of playing Phantazmay in the modern Yu-Gi-Oh format. It's not a bad thing whatsoever, but it's definitely... It's the best higher end thing. If you play against Striker, congratulations. You now have targeting protection, you got a free draw, you got to deploy a free body, and you're just sitting there with a smug look on your face because you're already in such a leading position. You even got a free body to link out with if you want to. Alright? What's Widow Anchor gonna do against you when you got a frickin' Phantazmay on the field? Spoiler alert, it's gonna do nothing to you. Alright? That's the coolest thing about it, alright? So, protection is a good, unless I got double Widow Anchor. And then you're crying. You're like, what kind of mockery is this? How could you open up that well against me? Well, I do in fact feel like that sometimes. So, That's where we're sitting right now for tech choices for the formats. What do you guys think? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Smash that love and crap out, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on the day of some more cool awesome content. Peace out, guys. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out Vanquill40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCL40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mclgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.